I have to have some introduction. Hello, everybody. My husband always does. Okay. I never actually imagined that I'm gonna become a true family member. Even when I become like a finalist, I never imagined that I will become true family member because I have a brother, and I'm sure some of the members already know that I have a brother who is how it's called. I always try to find a good word in English, like a mentally challenged. Is that a good word? Or he's how old is he? He's like 5 years younger than me, so he's 32. But his mental capacity is like, how do I even say 7? He can read and write, actually, because my mother really worked on her. But anyway, because of him, I never thought I can get into true family member because such a brother I have. So it's like it can look like I heard that in order to become an in-law of a true family, you have to be perfect and flawless, and I'm far from that. So I really thought I will never join, and then. Actually, when father and mother asked us to go up to the third floor and then have a little talk, and then I think Hunsukwon was there to translate, and then I thought I thought I will never become one. I wanted to say what I want to say, right? and then I told Hyung Jin Nim that you don't know anything. You don't know anything about reality. You live like this is the expression I use. You live like a flower in the greenhouse. So what do you know? And that's what I asked him. I was so brave. I did not know he did all the martial art practice, all that. I was very brave. Ignorance is brave, right? Anyway. So, he had a fun time, make fun of me throughout all these years that, you said that to me, can you believe it? All these things anyway. But, when I met true father and true mother in person, I always saw them in the picture, right? In the calendar picture. So I literally thought I had a starstruck. I literally thought I cannot believe that they're sitting in front of me. So I literally thought they are like cutting out from the calendar, church calendar, and then it's like I was so amazed. Oh, they can move! All these things. Yeah, and then I was very grateful. But I was very, very ignorant too. So the first breakfast, the first meeting that I chose, and then. And nobody expected I'm gonna be chosen. I was like nobody's choice. And then at that time, the department head actually came up to my mother and me. I never imagined that you will be picked. And he actually made that comment. So that was unexpected to everybody. But anyway. I was very ignorant, I have to say, because next morning they actually invited us. They told me that you have to come for breakfast, 7 o'clock. I can't even remember what time it was, but we didn't have a car at that time, so I had to wait until the subway and the bus actually works for public, right? Yeah, so I waited until the subway time, and I was late. I went there until 8 o'clock, and then I found out that they actually waited for me, and I was like, I didn't know. I was that ignorant. One time I was very grateful, and in the same man, I made a Messiah wait 1 hour for breakfast. It was a really long learning curve, I have to say, and I'm very grateful to my husband that he had a patience to raise me. Yeah. I think we were doing You know what, this is the thing. I actually don't remember exactly whether at the time I was doing, Hyung Jin and I were actually working in the big church, or at the time I was serving Father. I can't remember. But the one thing I remember was it was so well, I never expected. We never expected that. That's why there was a one World President inauguration, and then we received the eighth grade textbook, and there was I think there was 4 or 5 books that Father actually signed and the name. And then there was a list of books that Father put it in. So we didn't, at the time, I don't think we used in 2008, that we did not use the World 8th grade textbook. So Father put various, many books like the Way of Providence and many books that members love. All those, the book list was there. And then and then 2010, there was all the crowning ceremony, and we do the not marching, what is it called? Father is walking, and then we go follow, and then with the crown and all the ceremony. We did it 3 times, right? And I actually see. Sometimes I'm amazed about myself because I have sometimes no clue, and I say these things out. And what was that? It was actually, Mother took me out to the wedding shop at the time, 2010. I think it was early 2010, around the crowning ceremony time. And she took me to wedding shops to buy the special white gown for the ceremony. But I had no clue that she was thinking about that. So, and then she didn't tell me what's going on. So I was like, she told me to, told me to try on this dress and that dress. And then I told Mother, so who's getting married? So who am I trying this on? For who am I trying this on? And that's what I said, because clearly in my mind, I'm not getting married again. I have 5 children. So I must be trying on some design for somebody. Honestly, that's what I thought. And I asked Mother. I had no clue. I really had no clue. But like a little later, Father, and then shortly after, Father and Mother called our couple in, and are you pure? And are you pure, sexually pure, and all that. And then we grasped I finally grasped the concept. Oh, this is what's about. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they didn't tell me the details. So I was that ignorant. Oh, forgive me. He wants to help Japanese member, and how to really change this culture. So in Korea, there was a big culture to really, treating our Japanese brothers and sisters as a second citizens. So they conquered us. They basically colonialized us for 40 years. So they deserve to bring some money to help the Korean church, but the extent was too long and too much, and many. I remember one Japanese sister who came from Japan. She sat next to me. She can only speak Japanese. I could hardly speak Japanese at that time. Now I can speak a tiny bit. At that time I couldn't speak almost at all. But she was saying that, you know what? How long does Japanese church have to help a Korean church? And it's like it's too much, and we have nothing. But the Japanese leader, all the church leader says we have to help Korean church, but this is lose. And she was crying, actually. She was crying to saying this to me. And then we really felt that there is a real need, some help, some change needs to be there. And then Hyung Jin was really, in his heart, desperately searching for that. And that was an internal thing. That's why every month he went to Japan in the early of his ministry. I don't know how many churches we visited. I think about 30 churches we visited. And Hyung Jin Nim slept in church prayer room. That was his thing. No donation. Do not give me any donation. Then I will not come to that church again, or something like that. And there was a list of things that he requires to the church that he visits. So the first one was no donation to personal donation that you give to me. And then we're gonna do, you don't have to fund me. You have to fund me for me to come. You don't have to buy any gift that I'm gonna, if I like the bowl, the Japanese bowl, you don't have to buy it for me. We'll buy it for myself with my money. So there was all set of rules. And I think, what was another one? Yeah, and then he mentioned that I'm not gonna sleep in the hotel. So please prepare my the night over place in the church. So we often slept in the church prayer room. So that was a couple thing that he actually mentioned, and then yeah, he saw the real system is really corrupted, and he really wanted to help our Japanese brothers and sisters. He was really try to show the importance of Christ, importance of Father, because at the general mood for members at that time is, okay, you are tribal Messiah, you are national Messiah, you are Messiah, I'm Messiah, we are all Messiah, this kind of thing. And then Hyung Jin really emphasized the uniqueness of Christ, why we need a Christ for our salvation. And that was his topic that he constantly go back to. And then there was a seventh death and resurrection that he really had a spiritual experience. And then the father's sixth imprisonment, and then one helicopter incident. That was not just physically father is in prison, but it was actually a battle between Satan and Father himself, the spirit going down to the lowest realm of hell and then saving us, and then throwing his body and saving us. And he had that revelation in his dream. And then there's a series of experience he had centered on seventh death and resurrection. And we really, I think it was amazing experience that we all going back to Father and who gave us life and who gave us lineage. And it was an incredible time. It was an incredible time. And Korean members responded really amazingly, because Korean member never, I guess it's in a way, I'm sorry to say this, but they were kind of spoiled to have all this fund from Japanese church constantly floating in. And then all this Japanese sister, 1 million Japanese sister married with the Korean brothers.
1 million?
Yeah, 1 million. So not 1 million. I'm sorry. I'm making the. I'm confusing. 10,000. 10,000.
Yeah.
10,000. I'm sorry. Well, not 1 million. 10,000. Its number is a little bit different. So 10,000 Japanese sisters married with the Korean brothers.
Right.
So there's so many Japanese sisters, and then they are very faithful to our Korean brothers, and they are the bedrock of Korean church, basically. So they are so used to Japanese church and Japanese brothers and sisters sacrificing for Korean church. So Korean brothers and sisters didn't have to donate, basically. But as Hyung Jin really emphasizing the Messiah, the Father's uniqueness as a Christ, and then he does a lot of sincerity practice too with members. And there was many bowing conditions and all that. And then members participate in that bow condition, and then candle prayer, and then they're starting to donate a lot. And I remember it was 4 million. I'm confusing the number. I'm sorry. But it was amazing 1/4 of Cheonbokgung build money was donated by Korean members. So that was amazing amount. It never happened. So Korean members responded amazingly, and I'm very grateful to Korean members that they really stood up for their faith. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then Father supported 100% behind. And he often visited Cheonbok Church, and then he did a speech, and then we did a many conference in there. It was amazing.
So would you say father and mother were both happy about what was done?
Oh yeah, father and mother was very happy. There was like a Cheonbok festival that we did, and then father and mother wore this beautiful Korean dress, hanbok, and she came with the father. And when we built the 4 great saints statue, it was actually built by donation. Our members didn't make it. It was built by donation. And then when that was built, and Father was so happy, because at that time there was like the spiritual, the witness of cloud. Is that how to say? The witness of cloud. Those things came out, and then cloud of witnesses. Thank you. A spiritual message, right? Spiritual message came out, and Hyung Jin Nim built a 4 great saints statue in front of the Cheonbok Church. And Father, one time he was going commando or somewhere, and the Father said, "Turn around the car," and then he came, and then he took picture in front of the statues, and he really supported Hyung Jin Nim a lot. Yeah, in any way possible he can do, because Father is physically he couldn't. After the helicopter incident, he couldn't walk so well.
Right.
Yeah, but he actually came out to really see what's going on in Cheonbokgung. I remember at least 4 or 5 times. Yeah, if I didn't get this right, and my Mr. Lee, the Korean church president, will not like this, but I just off top of my head, I can remember 5, 6 times Father visited Cheonbok Church. Yeah. Yeah, so they were very happy. Yeah, but this is something I really have to repent. This is something that I have to really repent. I really did not know who Father was, even though I was a true family member. I think I spent most of my time struggling in parenting and struggling in church. Even though I was serving as a pastor's wife in the church, I wasn't really. I was caught up with work. And oh my gosh, there's so much problems everywhere. Like these Japanese members get beat up by her husband, domestic violence, and the church leaders are in like a relationship with the members, and then like there's so many chaos in there. And then for me, such a not experienced and young and dumb, I was totally caught up by that, and then I couldn't really see serving at the time. I was in Cheonbok Church. I did what I did, but I did not know what it means to have a life centered on Christ. I actually did not have any clue about that. And then, but as of course, my husband and I serve Father closely. One thing I really, really realized is this: the Father is a real deal. That's what I really realized. And I could really understand why first generation loved Father so much. Because what he does is everything is public. And the what he does inside the room and what he does in the Hunduke room and in front of members, there's no difference. And I can imagine how man can live like that. And some people say, Father says it's amazing because he sleeps 3 hours. But I know somebody, so and so who sleeps 3 hours too, and it's nothing that's so special about Father. And father says he built so many organizations and he did many humanitarian work, but I know he did more than father and all this. But what I saw father was not in terms of worldly accomplishment, but I really saw a man who really sees every single person he meets with God's eyes, and he listens with God's ear. And that was really inspiring for me. I never imagined a man is possible to do that. And the Father showed that example as a Christ that he trusts me and he trusts my husband, even though when we don't trust ourselves. And he instilled that godly expectation in us. And that changed us. That changed. And that's the real change. I really believe that we begin to really bow down to Father. Because we are willingly. It's not somebody, okay, I'm getting so emotional here, okay. It's not somebody forcing you to be obedient, but it's a real. Father is a real deal. He's a real Messiah. That's why we bow down to him, because the love he shows is so great that we can only say that, wow, you really won my heart as a Messiah, and I can really follow you. And that he really exhibits truly God's love. And for me, those things, of course there's several things that the Father, when I'm really down, Father knows. It's incredible. And he one moment he sent me to hell, and after one moment he sends me to heaven. It's like he knows how I think, and he does it. He fixes my perspective and posture to him, just like effortlessly. It's just so natural for him. So it's like one moment I thought I hate him, because he's just taking away me from my children and all my freedom and all that, right? And the next moment, I just can only say, you live the life that what you ask us to live, and I can only say that you are the one Messiah. I can only say that. Hyung Jin is a very funny person. He really is funny person, because he's the seventh son. He's of course youngest son, but he has 6 brothers, older brothers, and he's the 11th child of 2 parents. And because of that, he's he has this youngest boy spirit, right? A free spirit, so to speak. And then he's so lovable. I didn't see him when he was young, but I heard he was so lovable that he was called. His nickname was Lovey, right? He was so lovable. And then his sister loved him so much. And then mother loved him so much too. And there's one picture. I was flipping his child album, and he's wearing this pink suit, pink jacket, and pink pants. I'm like, who would wear this piece? Who bought you this? And then Hyung Jin said, yeah, mother had a fun time dressing me. But the pink suit is too much. But yeah, I was stupid too wearing that. But it was and he was willing to wear this pink suit. I think he was was almost 9 years old. 9 years old. I have a 9 years old son, and he will not wear pink suit. He will not. No, but he was willing to wear a pink suit. I think he liked the mother's love and all the attention that his mother gives to him and all the sister gives to him. I'm sure he was enjoying that moment. And Hyung Jin was very, but he's very, how to say, he's very humorous person. He likes to, joke around, and he's such a prankster, and then, he likes to make a trouble for fun, and all that. And I remember one time, mother was in her closet, the walk-in closet, and Hyung Jin said, "Mommy," and mother said, "Oh, don't come in, I'm changing," and he just walks into the closet, and as if nothing happened, he just walks in, and said, "Oh, honey, don't go in." I was like grabbing him, "Oh, it's okay," and he goes in, and then I obviously I didn't go in, right? And then he goes in, and he said, "Oh, my mom still has S-line," and S-line is like a thin, that's what it means, like, "Oh, you are still sexy," and all that, and I could hear the mother is slapping his back, and I can't believe you're doing this, I can't believe this, and the mother is going on. And Hyung Jin was such a, he knows how to talk to women. He really knows, that guy really knows. And, for me, mother is such a great mother-in-law. I have to say this because, in Korea, one of the top 3 reasons for women divorce their husband is because they had a difficult relationship with mother-in-law. I mean, it's that serious relationship. And there's a funny, there's a mother-in-law in Korean is called 시어머니. So there's a joke among the sister-in-law. The word in sister-in-law in Korea, they say we don't even eat 시금치. The 시금치 is like a spinach, called 시, and then 시어머니, mother-in-law, starts with she, and 시금치 starts with she, spinach, and we don't eat spinach because it starts with the same letter. And there's such a joke too. So it's that much. There's a difficult relationship there, but mother is a great mother-in-law, in the personal level. I one time, I think it was an early stage of, I just got blessed, and then, I was only 19, so, obviously my room is so messy. And one time I was sleeping, my Hyung Jin and I was sleeping, and then mother just knocked in the door, and then I said, I thought obviously somebody that I never imagined mother would show up in front of my door, right? And then, okay, who is it? And there was no answer. And then I walked in, I opened the door, and then there was a mother standing. And I can see the room is so messy. I was like, my face got so red. But she said, she didn't say anything. I'm sure she saw the peak in the room, but she didn't say anything. And then she just say, "Oh, I want to see you," like this. So I was so grateful. I was so grateful. And then basically, Hyung Jin was such a good mother. I really didn't have to deal with mother so much because he's the one who made all the atmosphere. "Oh, you come and you come." And then if it's a moment that mother was a little bit angry with me, I don't even remember what it was, and he was like, "Oh, I already, reprimanded her," and something like that, so that, I didn't really have to do anything. And she loved our children so much, and she often visited. She even came to hospital when I had my first son. And she was such a good mother-in-law. In personal level, I really have no problem with her. In a personal level, yeah.
와, 문청래 승리 만세!
Flowers.
천부모님 만세! 감사합니다. 사생결단 전로부터 실천 무너지기를 비나이다.